power of horror is back again, back again, back again. Half hour of horror with your friends from Love Horror.
Welcome to Half Hour of Horror, presented by Love Horror. This is the podcast where we revisit the frights that you forgot, and we forgot to review on Love Horror.
Everyone
which is
forgot.
why we're talking about them now. One classic horror film at a time.
Yeah.
My name's Tom Atkinson, and I'm joined by
Alex Humphrey. Yes, I'm here too. It's funny when you do that.
And we've got a bit of a special episode, given a certain time of year is fast approaching.
Yeah, it's the season. It's a spooky season.
Tis the season. Season of the witch, you could call it.
Season of the witch, indeed. The
Which
best
is very
season of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, in this episode, we're talking about, of course, the seasonal supernatural horror film from 1982 that is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
How do you feel about this film? What are your memories of this one?
Well, God, I don't know when I can't remember when I must have first seen it. I think for me, because I saw it quite a long time ago, but there were still quite a few Halloween films at that point. I didn't watch it when it first came out. So you still probably had Halloween 4 and 5, maybe a bit more than that. So obviously it kind of shocked me at first because I'm sure, as we'll get into, it's such a departure. So you're just a bit like, what? And then, but then actually, like once I kind of got into it, I really loved it. I really like it. It's a film that I really enjoy. I think, like, you know, we said, like, if you listen to the last episode, we were like, oh, these are all stone cold classics and stuff like that. Kind of looking at the backgrounds of this, there are probably some people out there who don't like this. Like, I don't know, maybe we're a bit different to other people there. There may be some people that are some haters of Halloween 3. But no, I'm a huge fan. I really like it. And again, we'll get into it. But what it kind of represents, what was this kind of like the idea of what could have been, I find that really interesting and kind of, you know,
definitely.
I like that a lot. But how about you? What was can you remember your first Halloween 3 experience?
Funnily enough, like as you said, I obviously didn't see it in the cinema, thankfully. Even I do look probably old enough to have seen it in the cinema, but not quite. But yeah, my first memories of it, I think, were probably seeing it on TV. And from around the same time that I would see The Fog, so it'd be like late night on TV. Around the autumn, so definitely kind of associate it with my childhood when I was probably a bit too young to be watching this stuff. And watching it on dark nights on my own. And weirdly, I think, you know, without saying too much about how I feel about this film, because I do have a bit of a nostalgic link to it for a couple of reasons, but I think the reason why I don't have the issue with it that a lot of other people do is because I think I saw this first. So I don't think I knew Michael Myers existed.
Wow.
Before I saw this film. So I think I saw it without even knowing what it was called. So I must have seen it like once or twice. Thought, oh, this is a crazy film.
Yeah.
And then afterwards found out it was part of a bigger franchise. So,
I think people, if you're younger, you might not be able to understand this. But when there were just less TV channels and there wasn't, you know, you have stuff on VHS, obviously, or DVD, but when there weren't that many channels, you could just stumble onto things like this. You could just be like, change the channel on, probably to BBC 2 or Channel 4 is probably going to be, isn't it? And then just be like maybe 10 minutes into a film like this and just be like, oh, whoa, what's this? And then watch it and just be like, what the hell was that? Like, what? And you, because it's just on, you just have to sit and watch it. You can't be like pause, rewind, fast forward the ads or anything. You're just you just sit there and watch the whole thing through. And in a way, I think it's kind of that randomness of what can be on is kind of been missed a little bit. I think maybe like it's good that we can get access to all this stuff, and especially like all this world cinema within horror, that you can see horror films from all these countries. That's amazing. That's great. And classics, you can get them now. It's available. You can find them. But you can't really stumble onto films as much, maybe. I don't know if it's as easy to just be like, blindly be like, oh, I'm just gonna I don't know what this is, I'll just watch it, and then be like really like totally. Whoa, like that's, I think you can't do that so much anymore. So yeah, I don't know, I mean, maybe there's a way to do it, I don't know.
And I think films had to, in those days, I think they sort of had to have that sort of element to them to capture you in, exactly for that, because you would have just changed channels and it'd have been totally wasted. But this must have on more than one occasion sort of come on, and I must have thought, just been glued to it. Probably because a lot of it revolves around children, and I was obviously a kid at the time.
It's true.
So I found it a bit like,
it's kind of got that vibe to it, isn't it? It's weird. It does. It is you feel maybe a bit more like it. It's one of those films that is. It's not that it's aimed at kids, because it revolves around children, and like, especially like like the masks and like who that's being aimed at. It kind of does have a more of a child focus without there being kind of a kid character in it, like definitely. Sometimes there is in these films. But yeah.
So before we get into it too much more, one thing I was going to quickly say about it, when we were talking about people being divided about this film, it was obviously the film that, though John Carpenter said he did like it, to Tommy Lee Wallace, who he handed the reins over to for this one, it was the last time he was involved in a Halloween film, John Carpenter, until 2018. So I think it says quite a lot about...
No, I agree with you there.
Backed away afterwards, so...
I agree with that. No, I do agree with that. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think, the how this film... It's one of the few... Like, if you look at kind of all the classic franchises, like Freddy, like Jason, like, Final Destination, Scream, all of these things, these classic franchises, they may have kind of wibbled and wobbled around, but they're kind of sticking on the same theme, same characters. This is one of the few that just goes a bit batshit over another direction in this really interesting way. And then, that wasn't what we stuck on, but it does do it. And I think that kind of bravery should be rewarded. Like I say, there's some haters out there, but the bravery of what they were trying to do or what they were thinking could have happened. That's worth something, I think. But hey, is it our tributes before we start the clock?
I was going to say, before we really kick off, should we do tributes? Would you like to go first?
I would like to go first. So I've got 2 tributes. So
wouldn't it be weird if we've got the same tribute?
I don't think we have. Well, no, here's my first tribute.
Like so far.
It's my Silver Shamrock Novelties T-shirt.
Is it actually from Santa Mira?
Yes.
Did you go
actually,
there?
I went there, and I bought this. And then my second, I'm gonna have to take my headphones off for this.
Got 2. No way. What's this? A different T-shirt? Oh, what? It's a double whammy.
It's a double whammy of T-shirts. Look at that. I don't know. These were designed by someone extremely talented, who may or may not be taking part in this podcast and isn't me. I don't know if these are still available. They were available. They might still be
available. If they are still available somewhere, then we will be sure to share the link. But
this especially is like, look at that.
But look at that.
So good. And the other one, I love that silver. I've had that Silver Shamrock T-shirt. Weirdly, gets me quite a lot of attention. I think people think like it's some Irish bar or something. I think people who don't know what it is just think I'm wearing like a leprechaun T-shirt or like he must be Irish or he likes Guinness, or I think people misinterpret what it is. Which I'm all right with if that gets me, gets me some attention.
I think weirdly the Silver Shamrock merch does see spikes in sales up around St. Patrick's Day, which is a bit that sort of leans to that as well.
A brilliant misinterpretation of what it's all about. I love that.
But I love that. Definitely didn't come from the factory. Sadly.
No.
But,
what's yours? Well, what's your tribute?
I've got a T-shirt on. This isn't my tribute. I've got a T-shirt on, and it's obviously not Halloween 3.
No.
So that's a bit depressing. But it's Halloween, but weirdly, and we'll come to it a little bit, this does feature in the film.
Yeah, I was going to say
coincidentally, sort of. At least it looks
of
like this scene to me.
Yeah,
here's my actual tribute. Hold on,
Right.
you're going to be excited by this.
Okay. Oh, I'm confused. What? Is it? Whoa! Is that
Look
like?
at
Is it
that.
the actual? Is it?
For the
it's a
people
version.
who can't hear it at home.
Whoa!
This is a bucket that is in the style of the pumpkin mask.
Lovely.
And look, if we look at the back,
my God, it has the little badge
it's
on
not
it.
Silver Shamrock. It's actually Don Post who made.
Oh, it's the proper. Yeah, because it's the. Yeah, it was him that made it. Yeah, because the wasn't it that this? It's the two of them were originally. They had two of them already, and then they made the one of them extra.
Exactly, yeah. So Don Post, not only did Don Post, they already had the witch and the skull masks in production before this film came out.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Wallace went to Don Post for help with the masks in this film because, gasp, shock horror, it's also Don Post who did the Captain Kirk mask, which they use for the shape in Halloween.
Yeah.
And then they commissioned this third mask especially for the film. So that was in addition to the one that was already in production.
Wow.
And then they actually kept them on sale, including this one. But this isn't a mask, obviously. No. This is a
you'd have to put it on upside
Halloween
down
bucket thing. Yeah. They kept them on sale and made a load of money out of selling them off the back of the film, even though the film didn't do that well.
I mean, I can't. I mean, I know we're going to get to it, but I don't. Oh yeah, some lovely.
I've got some sweets in there, but
yeah, good. That's
Halloween
good.
Sweets.
That's what you need.
Not eat them.
I'm
not sure you want to hear that.
It's a funny, I know we'll get to it, and I'll say because we didn't do this last time. There's gonna be spoilers, so if you've not seen Halloween 3: Season of the Witch and you want to go see it, you can maybe. Let me say I've tried to make the synopsis a safe zone.
Oh,
but then, so my synopsis is kind of safe, but I think past that we're probably going to be talking spoilers. So just a warning out there. But I will say that this is one of those films where I cannot imagine an adult watching this film and being like, oh, you know what? I'll buy my kids that mask. Like that feels kind of mucked up to me. But I mean, I would want that mask. So, I want it. So
yeah, exactly. Once you've seen this film, even the kids that might have accidentally seen it or snuck in or why they would want to go out and get this mask. I have no idea. Do you think we should start the time now?
Yeah.
Is there anything else we wanted to do to introduce it? Should we introduce the film more? Is it worth us talking a little bit about the origins of it before we dive in?
I don't know. I mean, I
should
think
that be within the timer?
I think we'll get to that. I think we'll get to that within the timer.
Okay. If anything, the links could come out of the timer. If we get too pushed.
If they get too pushed. Okay.
What do you think?
What's what's the noise going to be? What's our alert?
Yeah. So exactly. If you listened to the last episode, you'd have heard that the Blair Witch had actually come in to the studio. If that's what you'd call this area that I'm sitting in at the moment.
Yep.
And did the noise for us for the countdown.
She did.
This time, Tom Atkins, star of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, came along. And when the time runs out, the 30-minute time that we're going to set ourselves to talk about the film, this is what we're going to hear.
Still running. Stop it, please. For God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time.
There we go.
That is brilliant.
So he's going to bring us to the end.
That is well done. Yes.
Thanks, Tom.
I know
you're out there listening.
Okay. Well, I guess actually the one thing I should say is if you've stumbled upon this podcast and you've not listened to the Blair Witch one or our little intro podcast and you don't know what the hell we're doing or what we're talking about, I guess a little brief overview is that, as Tom said, we're going to take a deep dive into some classic horrors, but how we do it, the gimmick, if it's a gimmick, I don't know, it is a gimmick, is we only talk about them for half an hour. So all this stuff, that doesn't count, but the actual discussion of the film, we will set ourselves a time, we'll give ourselves half an hour to talk about it, and then you'll hear Tom Atkins making us stop, telling us to goddamn.
Yeah, so if you do feel a bit shortchanged because you're only listening to this because it's called Half Hour of Horror and actually it's 50 minutes long, that's why it is. It is kind of justified.
It's just
at the same time we apologise.
Our last episode ran over, but it's all good.
We do go on a bit.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, we're ready. I'm ready for you to start the clock.
Okay, so I'm to start the clock, guys.
Okay,
and we're going.
Good.
Hit it.
Okay, right. So here is your synopsis. Northern California, October, Saturday the 23rd. And every kid has gone crazy for a trio of Halloween masks made by Silver Shamrock Novelties. As their catchy advert plays on TVs across the country, a simple shop owner is chased by a sinister suited man and ends up in hospital under the care of Dr. Daniel Chalice, played by Tom Atkins. Muttering pretentious, doom-ridden ramblings to Dr. Chalice, the old man has his head crushed and his silent assailant calmly sets fire to himself in a car. Simultaneously shaken up and intrigued by the events, Chalice teams up with the violently departed's daughter, Ellie Grimberge, played by Stacey Nelkin, and the pair start up an investigation that leads them straight to Silver Shamrock's factory and into a nightmare neither of them could imagine. There you go. So that I think that captivates the
That
mood.
really sets the scene.
Sets the scene,
I
and
felt
no
like I was
spoilers
watching it again.
as well. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, really good.
There's me
Wow.
intro. Yeah.
So I mean, I love the way it starts off.
It's
I
a
love
great.
the way you
No, it's a
start
brilliant.
off.
Like I said, I haven't watched this for a really long time, and I'd completely forgotten. Well, number one, first off, you've got the brilliant titles, which are like this kind of computer printout, aren't they, of the pumpkin?
Yeah, it's really retro, like a retro TV. Like
yeah, it's really retro. It's also a beautiful kind of callback to the original Halloween, where you saw the close-ups of the pumpkins and stuff. So you're you're kind of giving it's what so as we said, what we're saying here is this is Halloween, this is linked, but this is something different. So, and that was always, wasn't it? That was John Carpenter's idea, was that he didn't want to carry on with the Michael Myers story. He was finished with that. And that he saw Halloween, which is the first title, as an anthology series where every new film would be a different story and they would all be set on Halloween. And that is just such a brilliant idea. It's a perfect idea. And it would have, I think it would have had this done better. I think if that had been the concept of Halloween films, that you could literally, every year, couple of years, there'd be a new Halloween film, maybe a different director, different writer, and they would all be set on Halloween, but they would be telling different stories, sometimes maybe linked, sometimes not linked. I don't know. But I love that idea. And that is kind of one of the reasons why I love this, because I think the bravery to just say, the bravery to say we've done these two films that have kind of basically redefined the genre of slasher films. They've made tons of money. People love them. And then just to kind of have the guts to say, I don't want to do that anymore, but I will carry on, but in a different way. I think that's just such a, John Carpenter's a legend anyway, but like that he had that idea.
Yeah, definitely. I think, sadly, and no offense to John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, of course, who both have legendary status in my mind.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, it was doing the second Halloween with Michael Myers in that threw everyone.
Yeah.
Because I think that then became what everyone was going to expect, which I think was a lot of the knee-jerk rejection of this film when it came out. Weirdly, I think if they'd done Halloween as it did in 1978, if they'd made The Fog Halloween 2,
oh wow,
The Fog, and then this Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, that would have been a bit more of a different. That could work,
definitely.
John Carpenter,
definitely.
if you're out there, little idea.
Bit late, but no, definitely. No, I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I think
and I love as well, it starts and ends in the petrol station as well.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. No, that's great. Yeah, no, I mean, so after you've had that kind of printout and you get this, I mean, the soundtrack's great. It's a John Carpenter soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack. Oh, yeah. It's exactly the kind of synthy
classic
80s classic Carpenter vibes that you want. But yeah, as I say, it's that the fact that it does say October, Saturday the 23rd, and the fact that the setup that this film is called Halloween, we're at the 23rd, so we know now that there's a ticking clock. There's there's a countdown. Obviously something's going to happen on Halloween. We don't know what yet, but we've been given the date that it is today. So we're obviously going to be moving forward in time and what is going to happen. I think that's a really good way of like telling the story, that that the Halloween is coming, as it were, and something's going to happen on that Halloween. And yeah, as you say, that opening, it's really interestingly, the opening is quite reminiscent of Halloween, of Michael Myers, isn't it? I mean, it's a guy running, it's dark, he's being stalked. The figure of the suited, those suit guys, they just stand, don't they? They're very robotic, they're very emotionless, they're very they just kind of seem
it's
to
very
be
much like
there.
when you see the shape every now and again, isn't it, in Halloween 1970?
Yeah, they just kind of appear, don't they? And I think it's I think that is almost, like I say, I think with the beginning of this, the film is almost trying to ease you in. Like, it's kind of like trying to say, look, this isn't Halloween, but we know you've kind of shown up for Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis, but so we'll give you a bit of that, but this isn't really what we're doing, but we'll give you a little bit to get going. And yeah, I think, but it's bloody good though. It's a great opening.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely opening. And then we're introduced, obviously, to Dr. Dan Chalice, played by Tom Atkins, who's just like, on top of everything else, is just like the biggest player in the world, isn't he? I
didn't want to get to that, but yeah, he is. I mean, he absolutely is.
We've got to be very careful. We can't glorify it because his behaviour is not really the sort of thing that's politically correct anymore.
No,
but he goes to see his kids because he's with his wife that he's divorced from.
Yeah, he's definitely split up from his wife. Yeah, that's gone badly wrong.
So he's kind of not a great dad, and she's all
terrible dad.
You're late and you're rubbish. And then he's at one point he's smacking his nurse's behind.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that.
No, I did see that. And then the coroner, isn't it? The coroner, he's like trying to get
the coroner woman who he sort of kisses quite a lot, and keeps talking about going out to dinner with her. And then obviously then you also have the his partner in the adventure.
Yeah,
what's her name?
Ellie Grimbridge. Yes, the daughter of the dead dad.
The daughter of the guy.
Yeah. Although I don't, like I say, I agree with you. It shouldn't be glorified, and it is. But I think there is a kind of purpose to his character, because I think at the beginning he is such a crappy dad, and so. Again, another brilliant thing. Yeah. Another brilliant thing is that very quickly we're introduced to Silver Shamrock. You've got the TV advert playing, the genius of the little jingle, the 8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Did it for you there. The genius of that. It's a great little theme, and it plays throughout the whole film. It keeps coming up, and it's so. It gives you this real kind of like there's something going on, but you don't really understand what's going on. But it's also really, again, this film works very well now because the kind of crazes that people have now, which are much more prevalent because of social media and because of the internet, there are crazes that just pop up and just seem to be everywhere and then just seem to disappear. And this has that feeling of like there's this craze, everyone's obsessed with these masks, all the kids want them. But like going back to his character, I think he is a bit of a deadbeat dad. I mean, he literally lies to go on this investigation. He doesn't even ring and go, oh yeah, no, I can't come and pick the kids up. I've got to do this other thing. I've got to go to a conference or something. And it's absolute nonsense.
Actually, he's just going off with the young woman who's about 18.
He's on a bloody Scooby-Doo mystery. Like he's not really got a reason. But
does he care about the mystery, or is he more interested in some company with this very young woman?
I agree with you there as well. But how I think this character pays out is that by the end of the film, he realizes what the hell is going on, and he has this horrible realization that this is actually going to affect his children. And in a way, he kind of pays children everywhere, but he kind of pays the price for being this kind of deadbeat dad. Like I think it makes the ending kind of more horrific that he suddenly has this revelation of like, oh my God, what the hell I can't stop this, which is skipping to the end. But like I think that's the payout on how this character is definitely. But yeah. But yeah,
talking about the song, actually, I was just going to say that. Yeah. Did you know that the song? I'm not entirely sure if the singing itself, but definitely the bit. You know when it's "Hey kids."
Oh yeah.
9 o'clock, the big giveaway.
Yeah,
that's Tommy Lee Wallace who does the voiceover.
Oh,
Did you
that's
know?
funny. No, I didn't know that. That's
And
great. Yeah.
he also did the voiceover for. Can you remember Stevie Wayne in The Fog? Because he obviously works on The Fog as well.
Yeah.
When she's listening to the trailers for the radio show,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the tape starts going all weird, and it's like, you're listening to KM, whatever it is.
Oh, that's him
We'll
as
try and do an
well.
impression.
He's got a great
That's
voice.
him as well.
Wow. Yeah,
So that's
really good.
That's why apparently, like, he did that, and he ended up doing like lots of these kind of voiceover bits.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. It's great. It's a great advert.
So director, he wrote it. Well,
yeah. Well, there's lots of
something
people
that needs to-
lots of people seem to write it. It seemed to me.
Yeah. Well, so it was a Nigel Neal originally idea.
Yeah.
I think most of it, the whole magic meets the electronic age was the idea, and so Nigel Neal, Quatermass, the writer of Quatermass films, which you know a hell of a lot more about than me.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
I think Joe Dante was going to originally direct this, and it was him who said he wanted Nigel Neal on board.
Yeah.
Joe Dante ended up leaving because he was getting involved in Twilight Zone, the movie, instead. So he dropped this for that. And then after Nigel Neal didn't really like the direction it was going in, when they wanted to introduce more of the gore and sort of horrible stuff. And Nigel Neal, I think, had been a bit burnt by Hollywood and stuff anyway. Yeah. He had a bit of a strop.
And then went on.
Left the film altogether, basically took his name off it. But I think from what I heard and read, Tommy Lee Wallace is down as a writer of it. But really, essentially, it's not that different.
That's
I mean,
funny,
you know, screenplay, the way things happen and script-wise, then but I think the story's essentially...
That's funny, isn't it?
Same
It
story.
does happen. I can see that does happen, that kind of thing. Yeah. I already objected to the kind of gore of it and stuff like that. I mean, it is quite nasty. I mean, this opening. So when the old guy gets killed, and then the guy, the suit just sits in his car and just sets himself on fire. It's quite shocking. Like it is the kind of, I think the horror in this, the gore in this is a bit more shocking than you think. It's more visceral. It's more like,
definitely,
it kind of like, you're just like, whoa, what the hell? Like it kind of like, it shakes you a bit more than something, say, like Halloween or like a slasher film. That kind of, it's not like that. It's more weird. The violence and the gore is more weird in this, definitely.
It's weird, isn't it? Because although you should be sort of, it's best if you do see this as a standalone, as it's not really connected to the other two films. You can see again why it was a bit jarring for people, because Halloween 1 and 2, you didn't get up close to the sort of gore as much as you do in these films.
Definitely
really.
not. No.
And also you had no kids die in the first two films, whereas all the kids are going to die in this one.
Yes.
It's almost like everything's different. Like all the rules have changed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think as well with this, it's more of a. I think the setup quite quickly as you get into the plot of it. This is more. It's not a slasher film. It's kind of a supernatural mystery. It kind of starts playing out like a kind of procedural. You know, they're on an investigation. You know, they're looking into this. They're trying to find out. She's got the information. His dad went to the factory to buy these, and then it's like, oh, we should go to the factory, and they go to the town, and like it follows this kind of procedural route of like uncovering the mystery behind what's going on. So it goes like that. But then I think what's brilliant is it just kind of turns it up and up and up and up, and by the end of it, it's so insane, like what's actually happening and what the plot, the actual plan that Cochrane has, like what Silver Shamrock are really doing is so mental, and that you're just kind of like, what the hell? So where you've started from, you're just, by the end of it, it's just mental. And like, as you say, I mean, one of the cleverest bits, which is a bit of a FU to Halloween lovers, is when Tom Atkins is in the bar and he makes them turn the TV over, and it's literally a clip from Halloween. I mean, it's literally a bit of Halloween. It is that scene, that scene. Yeah. And it says, the voiceover is like, the immortal classic, followed by the big giveaway. And you're just like, it's so jarring, because you're just like, what? Hold on, what? Like, the fact that it's the Halloween, so the two films before this exist within this as fiction, not as fact. And it's really jarring, but really... I think, again, really brilliantly jarring to say, like, no, look, you're watching something different. Michael Myers isn't going to turn up. This isn't what you think it is. This is something different. and it's kind of bold to do that, and I really
Yeah.
like that moment. I think it's a really great moment.
Almost opens up that sort of meta gateway that like Scream had with Stab and stuff, where you're a bit like,
definitely.
oh wait, imagine if the Halloween film's based on true events or something in the world of Halloween 3.
Well, we can get
it's
to...
also the film. When Cochran puts the mask on him, Halloween's on the TV then as well. Did you see?
Oh, yeah.
I wondered whether John Carpenter was just trying to get the music played as much as possible, because you hear quite a lot of the
God, I love that
soundtrack.
That moment, that is one of my favorite bits of this film, because it's so well put together. Because the soundtrack of the film is playing, and then he puts the mask over. I mean, we're skipping to the end, but he puts the mask over Chalice and has the TV on, and the music of the actual film fades down, and the music of Halloween fades up, and you're kind of the soundtrack of Halloween becomes the soundtrack of Halloween 3. It's so brilliant. It's so seamlessly done. It's like really brilliantly done. I love that bit. I think it's a really well directed moment. Like it's like you say, it's very meta. It's very much like, what is reality anymore? Like, what are we? It's playing with you so much. Like, I mean, also, the bottom line of this film is like the Silver Shamrock novelties on its own and the masks, they're just such a great invention. The idea, their logo, the jingle, the masks themselves, the factory, all that is just like, it's a brilliant invention. It's a great thing. It's really well done.
Is.
The town they go to. So when they go to, what is it called again? It's a famous little town.
Santa Mira.
Santa Mira, thank you. When they go to Santa Mira and everyone's like, it's this kind of weird Irish community. There's the Dublin Inn, Shamrock Savings, Rafferty's Deluxe, and the Rose of Shannon. That's the local businesses. And like, it's this kind of, but it's really interesting because it's like, it feels kind of oldie fashioned, oldie worldy, and it's like, who is these foreign people? Like, who's these outsiders? But there's CCTV everywhere, and they're being watched constantly by the people, but they're also being watched by the cameras everywhere, which is a really, again, I think it feels quite like relevant now, of this kind of like, you're being watched all the time, that technology is there observing you all the time. You can't kind of escape it. And this film definitely has this film is definitely about technology as much as it's about kind of magic. That's what it's got, that's a bit different to everything else. It's the blending of something very old and something very new in this weird way. And I really like that. And the silver, I like the factory's great when they go around the factory and they have that weird room full of the kind of novelties, like the weird old stuff they've got in the room, and like the the old toys and things like that.
The clockwork things. No, it's funny you should say that, actually, because it's definitely, if it wasn't for the sort of extreme gore, this is definitely way more of a sort of sci-fi film, really.
Definitely.
It's funny. It'd be interesting to know how much, because Deborah Hill and John Carpenter were both like executive producers, I think, for this. So it'd be interesting to know how much influence they had in it. But just the whole kind of surveillance aspect, like surveillance society, a bit like with They Live, where John Carpenter was sort of saying a lot about consumerism.
That's definitely in this.
The dangers that lie ahead. I wonder whether that was a bit part of this.
Definitely.
Especially now we've got AI.
Definitely.
And in a weird primitive way.
And there's the clever way that he keeps ringing the coroner, and she's just like going, "Oh, it's really weird because I'm going through the bits and I've just got car parts. Like there's no like teeth, there's no," and you're just more and more realizing that whatever these suits are, they're not human. That they are something more than human. That there's something definitely up with those. They're, that their strength. I mean, the fact that he just like crushes the guy's head, doesn't it, at one point, and that's really horrible. And I mean, I think one of the worst effects is when poor Marge, when she's got the faulty mask and she fiddles with the badge and it just like melts. I mean, it's how that looks is just so horrible. Like it's so horrible.
I remember that really disturbed me.
Oh,
that was the one scene that really, I think I sort of, had to look away when I was little.
Yeah, it's bad.
It was the scene really that I would have switched channel for, because that freaks me out quite badly.
No, it's really horrible. But then where they go that weird extra step is there's all bugs and stuff, isn't there? There's like
Yeah.
insects and things, and it's like it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of it is nightmarish because it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense that would do that to you and bugs would appear. It doesn't make any sense, and that's kind of almost more. It's more horrible in a way because it's just like what the hell is going on? Like
it's just it makes it nightmarish, doesn't it? I can't remember the name. Can you have you got in your notes the name of the family who are at the factory?
Yes, it's Buddy, isn't it? I have got the name of it. It's Buddy Kupfer, Buddy Kupfer. Kupfer, Buddy Kupfer, Betty Kupfer, and
the
little
Kupfer
Buddy
family.
The Kupfer family.
Yeah, because they go there, and obviously they become guinea pigs, kind of like a test subject just before it happens, and that's the one where you see the little kid. So I think that's the first kid in a Halloween film that gets killed, or in The Fog. For that matter. Like first kid in any of those kind of films from
that is a horrible scene as well.
And the mask, and like you said, like they force Dan Chalice, Tom Atkins, to watch the surveillance as the kid's mask dissolves, and he kind of pulls it away. And then, like you said, bugs come out, and then weirdly snakes come out and everything. And then the music turns into this kind of like
it's like kind of merry-go-round. It's getting faster and faster, isn't it? Yeah.
And you can see like Dan Chalice going, and sort of like losing it a bit. And like then when giant snakes come out, and then like it feels like some weird fever dream. Yeah. And you're just like, what am I watching?
Yeah, because they kind of melt onto the kids' faces, don't they? The masks like sucker on. It's horrible. It's so horrible. And I think
all powered by bits of Stonehenge.
Well, yes, and here's the thing. So yes, very early on, you hear a news report saying that a bit of Stonehenge has been stolen, and you're just like, that's a bit weird. So yeah, I love that set in the factory, which is just this huge room with a huge, like a monolith, like a 2001 monolith in the middle of it, and these scientists up on scaffolding, like taking little chippings off, and then the kind of circle of computers, and like all these kind of white coated people like walking around, and they're combining the bit of magical ancient Stonehenge with these computer chips to make this thing. And I think what the kind of the icing on top of all of it is Cochrane and his performance. I mean, I think that the guy that plays him, Dan O'Herlihy. I'm sorry if that's offensive. He is Irish though. I think his performance is brilliant.
Yeah,
because
he's really good.
He's very odd, but actually, what he is just very mundane. He's just very normal, and how normal he is, and how kind of it's just what he's doing, isn't it? He's not evil. He's evil, but evil to a point of it's just mundane to him. He's just going to kill everyone. He's going to kill all the children, and like even like it's. I know there's the big speech. He does the amazingly big speech about Halloween and all that. But before he does that,
one of the best parts.
Yeah, before he does that, he just says, he says, Chalice is like, oh, what's the reason? And he says, do I need a reason? And he says, I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever, a joke on the children. And you're like, that is really, really mucked up. That you're just, it doesn't even really feel like you've got a reason to do this. You're just doing it because you can. Like, it's the kind of banality of evil. Like, he's just this businessman who's so powerful. He's just going to eradicate children, basically. Like, it feels like, but then there is a brilliant speech that he does go off into a massive big speech about, and I won't, it's not Sam Hain, is it? It's Samhain.
Samhain.
Yeah, that's Samhain. It. Samhain, which is the proper pronunciation of Halloween. And he goes into this huge big speech about the old country and about the real roots of Halloween, and how that it's pagan, and that basically he's basically saying, isn't he, that these children, all the children on earth, are going to basically be a sacrifice for a mass sacrifice, which is, and that's what you do on Halloween. And we've kind of forgotten the old times, and he's now going to make you remember. So it's, in a weird way, it's this kind of slamming together of the consumerism of Halloween and the kind of ancient paganism of Halloween. It's almost like he's part of the consumerism, but he's using the consumerism to bring back the paganism in this really odd way, but in a really inventively odd way. that's why this film's so good, because it's actually a really good plot. It's mental, but it's actually a really interesting idea, and you don't really get this kind of idea in things, not played out in this way, I don't think.
No, I think that's where that sort of Nigel Neal's influence probably really came into it, because he even says it's something to do with the planet, the alignment of the planets. He's like, we can't help it, we can't stop it, it's because of the planets. And not only does that make him sound like he's really unhinged and make you think, oh my God, this guy really is, willing to kill all these children for nothing pretty much. But also there's that inevitability and this kind of like universe, like it's in some big grand universal scheme, which then makes it sound even more sort of terrifying. It's sort of,
I think this is probably, if I had to be very critical, I think the climax within the factory, which isn't the climax, but the how they kind of get away from the factory is a bit silly. He basically just pours a load of masks down from up the top, and they kind of all spark off, they misfire, and it kind of kills everyone. It doesn't really make any sense. And I think if that had been the end of the film, I think it would have been bad. But then you have these kind of two endings now. You then go into these kind of double endings, one of which was obviously hugely inspired. It's kind of very Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where he's driving away with Ellie, and he's kind of like, I think he says something, doesn't he? And she doesn't really respond. And then he
noticed this time, because I purposefully, the last time I watched this, for this podcast, I purposefully watched her and tried to figure out where it was that she got turned into a robot. And there is a point, it's when he rescues her from the bed. That's basically a robot from that point, because she doesn't talk once.
No.
And if you watch her, she just sort of walks behind him and keeps looking at him like that. So she is quite robotic. Whereas I'd never really noticed that before until I looked for it.
And then she basically just attacks him, and they have this horrible fight. And like her arm gets knocked off, doesn't it? She's got that weird little like bit of her arm like thrashed, like a bit of metal like thrashing about, and then he knocks her head off, and then it's like, but then she's still alive, and she just like keeps coming back at him, and he's doing. Tom Atkins is good in this because he does just look like. He just looks kind of weary. He's just like, what the hell is happening? Like he wins that fight, doesn't he? But he just looks like, oh my God, what the hell have I just done? And then, as you said, it brilliantly brings itself back to the gas station. And now he's the kind of crazy man who's running in going, they're all coming, they're going to kill us, all that. And the ending is such a good ending. That they're in the gas station, aren't they? And the TV's on, and he's ringing the TV station to get them to take the advert off. And then you get the little kids come in with the masks on. And the way they just like, it's so horrible the way they like, it's on one channel and it goes off, and the kid just turns the channel and it's just on again. And he's like, no. And then it goes, and then the kid just turns the channel again. Like, it's horrible. It's like they're already, it's already too late.
Escaping.
Like they're already too hypnotized by it. They're already like, it's such a good ending, and it's so
it
good.
Just cuts to black. We never find out for sure.
Brilliant. We don't know.
Which is the perfect way to end it.
It's brilliant. I love it. I love the end. I think
that
the
does. It
ending's
makes
great.
up, like you said. That I think the weakest part in the film, I think, is probably the way they make their escape and sort of kill. Which I was going to say kill.
You don't know if he's dead.
No, I'm not sure if whether Conal Cochrane dies, or if he sort of teleports somewhere. He gets flashed by the energy.
Yeah, you don't really
looks
know.
really weird, and then just disappears. So who knows? But it's a far better ending than if it had ended there. We've only got 1 minute left for this.
Okay, for this.
But I think what we should do is maybe talk about favourite bit. What was your favourite bit?
I really do like that bit, like I said, when he puts the mask on him, and then you've got the Halloween playing on the TV. I really do like that bit. I think it's just it's so well shot, and it's so weird, and like, I don't know, and it really takes you out of it, but puts you in it.
What is it you like about it then, do you think?
I think it's really brave. I think it's so brave to take a film, and obviously now it seems even braver because we know how big Michael Myers is and what a huge character and a huge franchise that is. And I think, but even at that stage, to go through 2 films and how successful they were, and to have built something over 2 films, and then just go, no, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that anymore. We're doing something different. And I think that's so brave, and it's so interesting. And this film, I love that about this film. I think that it tried to do that is great, and it's a pity it didn't last. As I say, I kind of mourn the Halloween anthology that.
No running, stop it, please. For God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time.
So
That's brilliant. Yeah, but yeah, I mourn the fact that it didn't just carry on this way. That's my favourite. That's what I love about this film, is that it's bravery, I guess, to do something so different. How about you?
Well, yeah, I like it. I'll round up what I like generally about it, I suppose, when I give my score. But I was just going to say one bit I really like is when Ellie Grimbridge has to go and find Dan after everything that's happened in the hospital, because she wants to go off with him.
Oh yeah,
and she turns up at the bar scene
Yeah,
he talks about, where he's sitting in the bar having a whiskey or whatever. And she comes in and goes, "Oh, the nurse told me you'd be here." Like, that's where he always is. And also when he speaks to his wife on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, get rid of the kids' masks."
Oh,
and she's
yeah.
like, "You're drunk." She just thinks he's drunk. So you're just like, this guy has not got a good reputation. Like, this is not good for Dan. Yeah, I mean, I really like this film. I'm gonna give my score as well. A lot of this is nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I really thought, watching this again, I do watch this quite often. I watched this last Halloween. I watched it again for the sake of this podcast. I thought I would give it 5 stars, but then I attributed at least some of it to nostalgia.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Because, and Tom Atkins, who I love.
Yeah.
And obviously anything to do with John Carpenter, I always have a soft spot for.
Yeah,
so I've tried
definitely.
to detach myself a bit from that.
Okay.
I think as a film, it's a 4.
Yeah, see, I've written that. I mean,
It's not
if we're doing this,
perfect.
if we're skipping ahead a bit, but anyway, I would say a 4. I would almost give it an extra star just for what it represents. So it's kind of 5. But if you just take it on its own as a film, it is a 4. Yeah, it's not a 5-star film. It's a 4. But I think for what it represents and what it was trying to do, and the how interesting it is, that kind of gives it that extra star maybe. But yeah, I agree with you as well. I'd say we're just big fans. So that's why we're saying 5. But I think if you're being honest, and we run an honest podcast and we run an honest website, I would say it probably is a 4-star film, isn't it? It's not a 5-star.
I was going to say 4 stars, half a star on top of that for me, just purely for nostalgia.
That makes sense.
But I think
4.5
as 4.5 from me.
Yeah, I reckon.
I
agree with
what
that.
Happened, a bit like with Blair Witch, actually. I think the more I then look into the background of these films, it then also gives me more of an appreciation. The fact there were so many people involved in Halloween 3 that then were or had already been in great things, or then went on to be in great things, even down to Nancy Keys or Nancy Loomis, who'd been in so many other films. So once that plays into your psyche, you're like,
of course,
this is amazing. So it's quite hard to detach yourself from that. So how about
well, have you got any trivia
links?
Or do you want to skip?
Actually, no, I've got a little bit. I've got a couple of Easter eggs.
Oh,
I mean, we could go right off on one and talk about the whole is Halloween 3 basically, was Michael Myers supposed to be a robot?
Well, I've got this in my links as well. So let's.
Okay.
Well, we can dip into.
We'll come to that in a sec.
Okay.
Let me just give you.
Give me some facts. Give me some Easter eggs.
I'll give you a couple of facts. Hold on. Where have I got them? So, one thing I was going to say is when they're in the shop. More Easter eggs than facts, really.
Yeah,
we've talked about quite a lot of facts. When they're in the shop, when they're trying to retrace where Mr. Grimbridge has been, when they go in the shop and the masks are there, they work out. She goes through his book in the shop of where he's supposed to be, and he's supposed to have gone to see Minnie Blankenship for dinner.
Oh,
and he never got there.
Right
Now, Minnie Blankenship, Mrs. Blankenship's then mentioned in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Oh,
And she's like part of the cult of Thorn, if you can remember that.
Yes, I do remember that. I
Can't
do
remember
remember
last
that.
time
Yeah,
I watched that film.
yeah.
And basically, then she talks about how she grew up on the opposite side of the street to the Myers family, and was babysitting the night that little Mikey killed his sister.
Wow.
So there's a weird little tie back again to
That's
like the
interesting.
original Halloween films, which makes you think about that film within a film meta.
Yeah.
Was the Halloween the movie on the screen based on a
Well, yes. So
thing?
with Halloween. So what I've got, I mean, this is from Wikipedia, but there's basically, if you take all of the Halloween films from the 78 original all the way up to the 2022 Halloween Ends, so all of them, there is 1, 2, 3, there are 4 kind of continuities or well, there's 5 if you just watch them all, but there are 4 kind of ways of watching them. So you have the original continuity with the Thorn, as you say. That goes 78 Halloween 2, and then it goes 4, 5, and The Curse of Michael Myers. So that's one way of watching them. Then you've got the Dimension Films continuity. So that goes 78, Halloween 2, 81, H2O, and then Halloween Resurrection, which is 2022. So that's another way of watching them. And then you've got the remake continuity, which is Halloween 2007 and then Halloween 2 2009. So they're over there. And then the final one you have is the Blumhouse continuity, which goes Halloween 78 and then it jumps to Halloween 2018 and then Halloween Kills and then Halloween Ends. So they're all different ways you can watch the films. And obviously Halloween 3 sits outside of all of that. It doesn't seem to have any link. But as you've said, and it's detailed on our website.
I love this.
Yeah, it's detailed on our website. So basically, there is the Silver Shamrock cyborg theory, which, I mean, the basics of it, isn't it, that Halloween and Halloween 1 and 2 are real events. They happened.
Yeah. And
then films were made of those within, and then Halloween 3 is real. So what they watch is the film. So when you watch Halloween, the original Halloween 1 and 2, you're watching films of a real event that happened within the world of Halloween 3. And then Silver Shamrock, then to keep people scared, they use the cyborgs that they've made, which exist within Halloween 3, and that Michael Myers is in fact a cyborg made by Silver Shamrock Novelties.
I like that. I love that theory.
Yeah.
And do you know what makes the strongest bit of evidence for it? I think is if you remember in Halloween 2, I think it's early on in a hospital. Like, this is all purely, I haven't seen it for a while, so it's hard to remember. But he gets like hit in the face or stabbed in the eye or something. It's when he sort of famously has like tears coming down his mask.
Oh yeah.
But they're like yellow. And they're like the blood that like you see in Halloween 3. It's more. It doesn't look like blood. It looks like the goo that comes out of the robots.
Well, Silver Shamrock masks are in Halloween, in the 2018 Halloween, but also in Halloween Kills. They've got Silver Shamrock masks in those films.
Yeah.
As well as tons of other things have Silver Shamrock masks. But I love that idea as well. I think that would be
the crossover.
Yeah, and it makes sense why he can keep coming back and why he can't be killed, and like I think that's a really nice idea. Like, so if you want to read the whole theory, go on our website, look up Silver Shamrock cyborg theory. You can read the whole article there, so you can dip into that. Any other facts you've got? Was
Michael Myers a cyborg?
Yes.
The one other one which I thought you would like, because I know you like Ghostbusters. The woman she's like a receptionist, really kind of like low-key character. She's like when they go to the Silver Shamrock factory in Santa Mira. They talk to this woman about a problem with the order. Quite elderly, sort of like a receptionist or an admin person. And that woman, her name's Paddy Edwards.
Right.
And she is also the uncredited voice of Gozer in Ghostbusters 1984.
That's crazy.
Did a load of voiceover work after this film. She did load of Disney films, but she was Gozer.
Wow.
So
doesn't sound like Gozer.
No, she doesn't. No, she really must have gotten through the cigarettes or
Yeah,
something.
bloody
Like,
hell.
oh, I don't know.
God.
But, yeah.
I've got a few
So,
more links.
links.
Yeah, I've got a few more links. So, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, a 1956 film, was obviously a huge influence on this. There's a lot of the same themes of like,
Totally.
you know, people not being people and stuff like that. So that's a huge influence on this. But very interestingly, that Invasion of the Body Snatchers is also set in Santa Mira. And there are other films set in Santa Mira, including Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which was an adaptation of a book, 1992. The Dark Tower 7, which is one of the Stephen King books, that's set in Santa Mira.
Really?
There's an episode of Ben 10 set in Santa Mira.
Really?
There's an Airwolf episode, I think, or Airwolf is, and I think from Sharknado 2 to the end, a lot of the Sharknado films are set in Santa Mira. So it's like a fictional town that appears. So you can go off and have a kind of Santa Mira movie marathon and watch a load of films from that. So that's one of my links. Another one is might seem weird, but the film RoboCop, because it also stars Dan O'Herlihy, and he's the old man, which is the head of OCP. So that's also a corrupt corporate executive.
Yeah, he's awesome in RoboCop.
Yeah. I would also say RoboCop's got a lot of the same themes of like evil corporations, rampant consumerism, technology gone mad, kind of a disregard for humanity by big business. I think it's got a lot of themes of Halloween 3, weirdly. And then my final one, which is controversial, but it's a film series close to my heart that is not horror. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. So
wow.
So Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift is the third Fast and Furious film, and it does not have Vin Diesel or Paul Walker in it. They basically left the franchise at that point.
Atkins?
Not Tom Atkins. They gave up on the franchise. They didn't want to be in it anymore.
It's the third one.
It's the third one. It's the third one. They got rid of the main two actors. Universal wanted a standalone reboot. They wanted a high school themed story, and then that's why they cast Lucas Black, famously from American Gothic. He was in, and Bow Wow. You remember him? Yeah. So they're in that. So they're in.
I remember the film actually quite well.
Yeah. So
I've only seen it once. But...
They're in Tokyo Drift now. Much like Halloween 3, it didn't do very well. And obviously then the series returned, brought the characters back, went back to its roots. Now, what's interesting, I think, about Tokyo Drift is, so they retconned the character of Han from Tokyo Drift. They retconned him into the main Fast and Furious films, right? More interestingly than that, and a bit crazy, Tokyo Drift, which is from 2006, it ends up back in the continuity of all of the Fast and Furious films. And in fact, it's set between 2013's Fast and Furious 6 and 2015's Fast and Furious 7. So a film from 2006 is actually set in 2014, I guess. So it ends up, although it's the third film, it ends up being the kind of 6.5 film. And even then, and even going further than that, they bring the actual characters of Lucas Black and Bow Wow. Their characters come back in the whole franchise later. And I think, so kind of, I guess where I'm going with this is that Tokyo Drift, it's not like Halloween 3. But what I love about it is that something that went so wrong, it didn't work. This wasn't
and
where...
weirdly, the third installment as well.
And the third one, weirdly, something that didn't work. What I appreciate about it is that they had the balls, again, to go, you know what, this film didn't work, but we're actually going to retcon it and put it right back in to the whole series, and we're going to make it canon. We're not going to pretend it doesn't exist. We're going to make it canon and part of this thing. And I appreciate that about Fast and Furious. So there you go.
Nice, I love it.
You know what else?
Yeah, well, my...
Oh, go on.
No,
go on. No, my other things were not related. It's not a horror link.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say for links, I think if you, obviously you'd probably want to watch Halloween 2 to see Cyborg Michael Myers after learning that he is in fact a Silver Shamrock Cyborg. You might want to watch that.
It's true.
If you like Tom Atkins being a stud muffin, if that's a okay thing to call him, and sort of hanging out with younger women, and then The Fog, obviously, with
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis as well, is an obvious choice.
Yeah.
And sort of, so you still, and you've got the Carpenter magic in full display
Oh,
there.
yeah, definitely.
And also Night of the Creeps as well. If you want a bit of,
yeah, that's good.
Tom Atkins. And
That's
my last
good.
one I was going to recommend, just because of the robot, the retro robot angle, was Westworld 1973.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because there you've
definitely.
got robots going crazy who are a bit more the clockworky sort of
Yeah,
type.
yeah, that's
but,
true. Yeah, definitely. That's
killer
a great film.
androids.
That's a great film. Yeah, it's very, very influential. Hey, you know, in the spirit of overrunning to the point of ridiculousness, I've got a quiz. Would you like to do a quiz?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I love
quizzes. If people listen to the science fiction ranking system, I did this quiz before, but I've changed it to be horror specific. So it's called Name
So
That.
it wouldn't have helped if I'd
No,
if
it
I'd
wouldn't
heard
have
that
helped.
quiz.
It wouldn't have helped.
Anyway.
It's called Name That Threequel. So I'm going to read you the subtitle from 13 horror films, the part 3s of 13 horror films, and you need to tell me what the franchise is. So if I said Season of the Witch, you would know it was
Halloween 3.
Yeah, well, Halloween. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go. I think you should.
Oh, I just have to say the franchise.
Yeah, you just have to say the franchise.
Okay,
I think you'll be all right. I think you'll know these.
Do I need a timer for this? I don't know.
No, you don't need a
Tom
timer.
Atkins isn't going to shout at me. Is he?
No, he's not. But yeah, play it. You can play along at home if you're listening. So here we go. First one, Dream Warriors.
Oh, that's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Very good. Eclipse.
Twilight.
Oh, very good. Okay, Day of the Dead. It's an easy one.
Is it? Is it Of the Dead or
it's
Night
the
of the Living
Dead.
Dead? The franchise.
Interestingly, the third Candyman film is called Candyman: Day of the Dead. So you could have got a bonus point for that. But yeah, I know, weird. Okay, bit of
that could have been a trick question. Then.
Yeah, bit of a harder one. Tomb of the Dragon Empire. Oh, sorry, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Sorry.
Is that a mummy one?
Very good. Yeah, very good. Okay, Trinity.
Blade.
Oh,
Vampires.
excellent. Okay. The Final Dimension. You know what that's the third film of?
Oh, is it Hellraiser?
Oh, nearly. Highlander.
Oh,
it was the third Highlander.
Got the first letter right.
Hell on Earth. You may have already said.
Is it Hellraiser?
Yes, it is. Okay, easy one. Army of Darkness.
Evil Dead.
Yes. Okay, bit harder. Extinction.
Wait, am I going too quick?
No, you're doing good. No, you're doing good.
At home,
no.
Extinction. Extinction. Oh, wait, I know that, isn't it? Oh, it's the computer game one.
It is the computer game one.
It's.
I should play that Tom Atkins thing.
One out of The Fifth Element in it.
Yes, it has.
Whose name I can't even remember.
People at home would have got this by now, surely.
I was going to say no.
No.
Umbrella.
Yes, Umbrella
Corporation.
Yep. Umbrella Corporation. Yep, you're getting all the right words.
No, I give up.
Resident Evil.
Oh, Resident Evil.
Yeah. Okay.
I nearly said Silent Hill when I was like,
Silent Hill. Yeah. Okay. You've got a few more to go. Election year.
Oh, Purge.
Excellent. The Devil Made Me Do It.
The Conjuring.
Okay. 2 more. You've done really well. Really good. Comes Home. Something Comes Home. That's the title of the franchise. Is the first word. Comes Home. It's a name, if that helps.
It sounds so familiar.
Is this the one that will get you? We've met her. We've had a photograph with her.
What?
We have, yeah.
Wait a minute.
We were standing next to her in a box. It was round Halloween, in fact.
Wait, what? Megan?
Not Megan. Someone else we stood next to in a box. Do you give up?
I give up, yeah.
It's Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, Annabelle.
Yeah, my life has been weird ever since getting that close to her.
And this is my favourite one.
Been pursued.
This is the last one, and it's my favourite. Hope maybe you know this. This is the craziest one.
Got to get this one.
The Marsupials.
What?
It's very left field. I don't know if you'll guess it. I've never seen this. I bet it's great. It's not very well known.
Is it part of a Razorback franchise that I'm not?
No. Did you give up? Did you give up?
Yeah.
It's Howling 3. It's called The Marsupials. So I'm
What?
assuming they're kangaroo based. Wereroos? I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I've never seen it, but
Wow, I'm not surprised I
yeah,
never heard that.
it sounds great. You did really well. I reckon you got.
okay.
I think out of 13, you at least got 10.
I feel like I got at least.
Did very well.
I feel like
That's
I feel
good.
like I got 4 wrong. I'm not sure.
Well done, you.
But yeah, no, thanks for that. I feel like
It's all right.
I
A
feel
little
like I've
quiz,
got
little
some
bit of
homework to
bonus.
do.
Little bit of bonus
All those
content.
films that I got wrong, I'm going to make it my job to go and watch those films. But I can't guarantee we're going to talk about them on this.
No, they're not. No, they're not all good.
We should probably mention again, actually, for anyone who's listening, if you do have ideas of films that you'd like us to feature in future episodes, what you can do is go into Love Horror, think of a film, go into Love Horror, see if we have reviewed it or not already.
Yeah, that's useful.
And if we haven't,
Yeah,
then suggest
tell us.
it to us.
Tell us all about it.
We may do it on this podcast,
That'd be
mightn't we?
great. Yeah, we've got a good
Maybe
list
we'll
so
name
far.
check you.
Yeah, we definitely will.
We've got a fat list,
Well,
but
we do.
you suggesting something might move something up.
Maybe
Or it might
yeah,
introduce something
We
new
try
altogether.
we try to listen to people. Yeah. So have we? What's left to do? Have we done our little summary? What do we? So we've given it a rating, but
Giving it a rating.
what's your
I think we've
overall
given it a
summary? What's your overall lasting feelings about Halloween 3?
I think
Do you
it's a
still
great
love it?
film to watch at Halloween. I
Yeah,
think
it is.
it definitely deserves
Yeah.
to be one of those sort of definitely a spooky season film. Whether it's the one
Definitely.
you want to watch on or Hallows Eve, I'm not entirely sure. Even though it would be appropriate for that.
Good for
whether
the
it's got
run up.
the-
It's good for the run ups.
It's
Maybe
really
watch
good
it
for
on
the
the
run-up, get you in
23rd.
the
Start it on the right
Yeah.
day.
How about you?
I know. I really love it. I'd forgot. I knew I liked it, but then watching it again, I really liked it. Like I like how crazy it goes. I think it's well done. I think it's the soundtrack's great. Yeah, it's just good. I like it a lot, and I can see why people don't like it, but I just do. I like it a lot. So yeah, I think 4.5 definitely, not a 5-star, but 4.5 definitely. Yeah. What's next? What's going to be next
What
for
is
us?
next? So, do you want me to give you? I feel like I can do a bit of a quiz for you now.
What about
See if
what?
you can remember, because
I can remember.
you have seen a list, but whether or not you can remember what's
I've
on the
written it
list, I'm
down.
not sure. Oh,
I'm
is it
very
right in
well
front of you?
prepared. I've written it down.
So the next film we're going to watch, as you mentioned Stephen King earlier, it's based on a book by Stephen King.
Yeah.
As Halloween moves away and we get into the more wintry months,
Oh
I
yeah.
thought it would be a good film for the colder,
Yeah.
maybe snowy time of year.
Definitely.
It features a bit of a psychotic super fan. It's Misery.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking. I haven't
How
seen
have we
that.
not reviewed that already?
I know, that's crazy. I haven't seen that for a really long time, so I'm looking forward to
Me
that.
neither.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Me
that.
too.
We can have a nice, lots of good stuff around Stephen King and his the adaptations, and some that he likes, some he doesn't like, some that were good, some that were bad. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be an interesting
I can
one.
tell there's going to be a lot for us to dig into there.
Yeah.
I think for that episode, and all before Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us for this
thank you.
Halloween special.
Yes.
Props to Alex for his Halloween decorations in the
I
background.
know. I try.
And if you can see anything behind me, that's just what's here all the time. So I've not made any big effort. I will do next time.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Yeah, like us, do give us feedback, give us some stars, subscribe. We're going to keep going with this. We listened to our little intro episode, and there's Blair Witch if you haven't listened to that as well. And yeah, we'll be back.
Definitely. Check it out.
Soon on the next episode. Not really soon, but soon-ish for Misery. As Tom said. So yeah, thank you for listening. And yeah, we still don't have a sign off. What's our sign off? I don't know.
We need
to
see you next time.
See you next time.
Well, that's me.
See you next.
But,
I'm not.
What do you
that.
want to say?
I don't know what I'm going to say.
Say what you like.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm just gonna.
You say what you like. How about dun dun?
I'm gonna grab.
I don't know how many days till Halloween, but
Halloween.
something about Halloween. Really dropped it.